Hey, new cell phone, new video editing software. I wouldn't mind so much if I hadn't been forced to change these things against my will. See, I smashed my old cell phone into about a zillion pieces, and then Clipchamp decided it was going to be lame and useless, so here we are, forced to change, just like I do to all of my characters. I don't like it. Hi, I'm Lulu. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell. Creating characters isn't easy, and crafting a compelling, layered protagonist can be downright painful. No one wants to end up with a one-dimensional cardboard cutout, a Mary Stu / Gary Stu, or a cringy author self-insert. And it's not as simple as slapping a few random flaws onto the main character and calling it a day. Like, who cares if he's a little bit clumsy? What does that have to do with the story? What changes does he experience that not only help him overcome his flaws, but overcome the antagonistic forces he's been struggling against this entire novel? How do his internal struggles mirror the external? I sounded kind of smart when I said that. While writing my most recent completed novel, I was having a lot of trouble with my protagonist. From draft one, I couldn't really figure her out, but I started working through it and I was pretty happy with what I'd come up with. The hurdle she has to overcome at about the 3/4 mark involves seeing past the surface of things and not taking people at face value. So I gave her a sort of naivete that didn't allow her to look past appearances. Someone seems nice, she trusts them. If they're imperfect in any way, she presumes the worst of them. Overcoming this flaw enables her to defeat the first of the two big bads of the story. I ran into trouble, however, when working out the confrontation against the main villain. The antagonist does not value lives that she sees as lesser than her own, while the protagonist is a doctor in training who wants to save lives. Their values are entirely contradictory, and I really wanted this to work as a source of conflict between them. And it does. Almost. But I've set that book aside while I'm working on a new novel, and it's been a good, 7 months since I looked at the damn thing. But as much as I try not to think about this book, I keep thinking about it. Not because I want to dive back into it, oh dear lord no. After rereading the same manuscript about a zillion times over the course of a year and a half, I am sick of looking at it. But I keep thinking about this moral dispute between the protagonist and the antagonist, and I've become increasingly dissatisfied. Honestly, I was always dissatisfied and I always knew why, but I wasn't ready to admit that to myself. Because confronting that meant confronting one of the darkest parts of my own character. And I didn't know if I was ready to expose that ugly side of myself. Whew, yeah, things just got heavy. The thing is, humans are weird. We do not make any sense. And we have to be honest about this when creating fictional characters. Humans are made up of skin, bones, blood, and contradiction. And water. I hear there's a lot of water in there. Take me, for example. Like the protagonist of this novel of mine, I have always believed in the intrinsic value of all human life. A person's a person, no matter how small. To my mind, a janitor has just as much value as a king. Or so I keep insisting. But I think all of us, even those who agree with my assessment, have completely contradictory thoughts that make us massive hypocrites. I would read news stories about junkies found after months of nobody missing them with a needle in their arm, and I kind of waved it off. I mean, no big deal. Humanity didn't lose anything. In fact, we're probably all better off, right? Just one more useless junkie reaping what he sowed. Then one day, that useless junkie was a member of my own family. He had a name, he had a big brother, a mother, and a father. He was younger then than I am now. Yeah, he had a complicated life marked by mental illness and one bad decision after another, but he was kin. Now when I read news articles about these types of people, I picture his face. I know the circumstances that led him there, and the value of his life was no less than the aforementioned janitor or king. It took his death for me to realize that. And so many of us do this. We care more about Matthew Perry than any of the randos who died in the exact same way he did. And yet we still parrot this idea that all human life has equal value. But we don't really mean it, no matter how much we think we mean it. This was the contradiction my protagonist was missing all along. She values life, but also she doesn't. Not if that life is on the opposite side of a national conflict. In fact, she's the same as the antagonist. The difference is the antagonist knows this about herself and embraces it without any compunction. But my protagonist It's gonna take a lot for her to admit that she shares this flaw with her mortal enemy. Only then can she overcome it and overcome her foe. The willingness to confront this flaw and change her ways is what puts her ahead of the antagonist in the end. These rewrites are gonna be so uncomfortable. So when writing your own protagonist or even minor characters, just remember, people are living, breathing contradictions. I mean, that evil German dude who YouTube doesn't like me to name, he was a vegetarian, all while doing all those things he did. And he's not exactly a unique case. We all espouse the virtues of kindness while enacting horrific cruelty. We bend over backwards to help strangers, but treat our friends like trash. We can't wait to finish that story we love so much. But we also ignore it for 7 months because we kinda hate it. Humans are hypocrites, so write them that way. Have them confront that inner darkness and coax it out of the shadowy corner it's been lurking in and force it out into the light. But that's just this writer's experience. What contradictions do your characters have to overcome? Were those contradictions based on anything you personally struggle with? Drop your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next video.